Why does it sound like it's here?
Right, wow. We have a baby who is actually sleeping. Got a cup of tea, and I actually managed to charge the mics. Show you around, see what Tim's up to. I actually don't know. I think he said he might be building a staircase today so we can actually get things up stairs for the floors. Yeah, I'm very dark. Hold that a moment. There you go.
Hold on my crotch. Have we got audio coming through on both channels?
Yeah, it's almost like I've done this before.
Well, you've come to me at a point where I'm trying to wing it and make a quick staircase. I was looking out for a second-hand one. I thought
that does look like a GCSE project. I'm not going to lie.
GCSE is quite advanced, I'd say. GCSE stair making. Well, I was going to route it and get the treads in or trench it out on the... Anyway, we've got the spare joists and we've got some packers. These are from the bearers from pallets. It's going to be good. It's going to be solid. It's exactly 45 degrees, which is quite steep, but it just means we can fit it in that stairwell.
Tim's over in the annex now. We're going to get some visuals, aren't we?
Yeah, Johnny's going to do some... Johnny did all the original sort of 3D, the intro of every video, and he's got some software which if I get a pan or a walkthrough of how it is now, he can do some transitions from current to dream future. So that'd be quite cool. So maybe in the next couple of weeks we can do that.
Yeah. The only problem is Tim's style is slightly different to my style, so he's like minimalist and almost like an office building.
It depends.
And I'm like barn and
even
homely.
just to show some of the spaces.
Yeah.
Because we can start to picture them now, but there's obviously no boards or there's lots of walls. Like between us and that room over there, there's another 3 lots of walls. So
yeah, and we were talking to our Patreon about what they would like to see or what we're missing in terms of detail about topics. And that was one of them, because as much as you say, over here is our downstairs toilet. It's not. It's our... Oh, there is a downstairs toilet here. But again, like, you kind of
that's
forget,
what this door is here.
It's hard to... It is
so you come through here,
right.
but then there's another wall to come across here. Right. Squeeze yourself through here and I'll show you. So we're basically waiting on...
these?
You can stand on there, yeah. We're basically waiting on a big delivery of all of our, well, the first half of our chipboard flooring and our steel and something or other else. And we can't get started until that's here. So I've been promised the next hour. Well, I was promised this morning as well. So.
But that's what you would do. It's raining.
It's raining.
I've got washing on the line.
It'll dry.
2 loads of washing.
All right. Is it bright enough? Because it's quite gloomy over here.
It's beautiful.
So in the last video, I kind of alluded to the fact I've zipped out these windows. So these windows are full size now because we had some of the boards overhanging. And this, we're proud to say, is kind of where we need to get every room to. We're going to board from the top, and then apart from that, it just sits like this until 5 weeks time, windows go in, and then at that point we can get all our before then we can get some of our service cavity battens all the way around on the green, and it'll be ready for first fix. So this
is our little spot down here. This will be the warm spot.
Yeah, there's quite a few pipes come through there. We can take that block off now, actually. That can fix back, and then we'll have a little cabinet there. This is going to have as long as it needs to just carry on drying out, but this is now at the point where we can start the kind of buffing, the diamond buffing. I'm not going to say grinding because that kind of threw a few people. We're not going to grind through an exposed aggregate. It's just going to be a light sanding through to polishing.
Did we do that wet?
No, that's all dry, I think.
And are we going to do that room by room, or are we going to do it all in one go?
That's a good question. So one option was to do all of the floor before any of the partition walls go in.
Oh, yeah. Because we can get right up close to them.
I think as soon as you've polished it, you're going to want to get the sealer on there and have it done. And I don't think we want that yet because there's so much more to do. And I don't think you'd want to do all those stages of polishing it and then not seal it. So I think no is the answer, because these rooms are still big, and because we're not having to grind, we can get to the edges quite easily. I think most of these rotary things go quite close to the edge. So we'll carry on and we'll put the partitions in.
I guess it will make us make a decision about whether we have skirting boards, because we were thinking we might not have
Yeah, I think we can
skirting
still
boards.
get...
But if we need to cover that little gap, you know, down on the floor.
Yeah, but remember, this is all get battened off. Our plasterboard ends up here.
Oh, yeah.
So as long as we can get quite
before
close.
past plasterboard then?
Yeah, that's a decision to make, I guess.
More staring at walls is clearly needed.
Yeah. Unfortunately, over here, so this morning we were chipping out. So this is where our soil pipe for a stack for upstairs is, and over here. So we had to kind of tap around to find where they were, because we kind of measured them.
Did you make any boo-boos?
I did here. You might notice there's a little bit of a dimpled effect.
There's a tiny one there.
So you might remember way back when we were doing all the groundworks and the pipes for the waste, we brought them up in sensible places, ready for what we needed, brought them up to the height we thought we needed, and then we poured hundreds of tons of concrete over the top. So I'm now picking through to see if I can find exactly where we put them. There are clever ways of doing this, and then there's the way we're doing it, but I'll show you how it's going so far. It's here, and I chipped it out, and you can see it's worked out pretty well. It ended up about 4 or 5 mil below the surface of the concrete, which is what we hoped for. It's got that foam myothene around the pipe, and we chipped it out, so we can just pop this off, and the soil pipe can go straight into there, and it runs off in the right direction. The only thing is, we probably ended up, we didn't guess it quite right, we probably ended up a little bit too close to our wall here, because if we're just plasterboard on there, it might be okay. But we were going to double skin this with OSB. So it'll still clear the wall. It's just when you put a soil pipe clip on the wall, normally that stands the pipe off quite a bit. So we might have to rethink how we strap that to the wall, but it's fine. We've got wiggle room there. Now, we've got one out here, and it had to be pretty much where the toilet is going, but it's a bit of a guessing game. We were just talking about what we could have done. Well, there's a few things. We could have put some sort of tracer wire or something on top of it, which I considered, and then find it with a metal detector. The problem is we've got endless rebar in here, and it would just not work. The other option, which we just thought about, would be to use an infrared camera, which I really need to invest in if anyone's got any tips. Well, just one of the ones that goes on a phone. And then we could have just blown some warm air in from the outside open end of the pipe, and hopefully it would have just glowed in a perfect circle on the floor here. And it's a shame we can't do that, because I think it'd be quite fun. Instead, we're just going for a bit of tappy-tappy, which is just taking the hammer to where we think it is, really lightly tapping, and you can hear the different pitch between solid 6-inch concrete and where it's only a few millimeters thick.
Isn't it further?
It was a little bit beyond the wall, but it looks almost like it in the video, doesn't it? So again here.
That makes sense, it's about there. I like it should be this way, but it's loose there.
I don't know. I'm questioning it now. Why does it sound like it's here?
Oh, this one.
There's a little dimple effect.
That's a bit of a bigger dimple than I just
This is all within a cupboard, so it's not the end of the world. But anyway, that is for the toilet. The wall comes across here.
What's this for?
However,
Toilet.
yeah, it's a 1.2 metre wide room. But this is danger zone. So over here, we've got some serious issues with the concrete. If you come in, you see that?
Is this the bit that you were worried about previously?
That's all completely blown.
No, I can hear that.
Yeah.
After
So
lots
fine
of...
there, but
Can you
all
not
of that.
hear that? What about here too? I can see.
Yeah. So I might have a hole in my trousers.
Tim tried
But
to hand
we've got to
some.
kind of work with it because we've got to stick to a budget. And one of the reasons for doing the polished concrete was to use as much of it as we can. And where rooms are fine, of course, we're just going to keep the polished concrete, polish it, seal it.
Yeah.
But where we're not going to lose sleep over it. It's a shame that it happened. We've learned. By the time we got through the building, we were putting it down sooner in the process. During the concrete floating here, it obviously dried out a bit too much. Anyway, this room, fortunately, this room is the toilet. Seems okay. There's a wall that comes through here.
This is the kids' schoolroom.
Exactly. It's kind of like study, and I think that might have to have a carpet.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing.
I love a carpet.
Exactly. And there's no reason. Yes, there might be a little bit of delamination, but it's not going to... We don't have to do anything about it.
No.
Carpet straight up at the top. As long as this works. I just don't want carpet by a back door.
No.
Not with a dog.
No. And then an offcut we could make into a big rug or something like that down here. Because it would be nice and thick.
Whip it.
Whip it, exactly.
I'll whip it. So this morning, while we were waiting for our delivery, we were thinking, what can we do? Well, I didn't do much of it. Tom did most of it. I just cut boards. But all of this now is done. So we've still got some detailing to do right at the top.
Just waiting to lighten you up.
Well, just move, yeah.
Quick Tesco stop.
Well, whilst you were dealing with your delivery, I've realised that I just nailed off all of these incorrectly. So, stair mast.
Oh no.
Well, I didn't...
Wrong angle?
No, correct angle. First one was fine, and then I allowed for the thickness of the tread, but I allowed for it twice. So they're all like little steps, and they're meant to be... So
you'll be taking lots and lots of dainty steps up?
No, I'm going to pull them all off and redo it.
Yeah, I know, but that's what you would have been doing.
Yeah, it just means that the angle would have been too far. Anyway, right.
It's all maths, isn't it?
It is all maths. I was just going to talk through the kitchen, even though it's a bit of a mess, because we were having a bit of a discussion.
Garden room, because it looks warm.
It's not warm, it's an illusion, it's just light.
Look at it over there. A beacon. This place was clear.
Well, I was doing that.
Be great for roller
Just
skating.
started. Great what?
For roller skating.
Well, upstairs would be great.
Slash this.
Yeah, that's what Tom wants to go on as soon as the floor's done upstairs. As soon as you've got some handrails in, and then we'll zoom around on the Segway.
Handrails required.
So this is the topic that we were talking about on Patreon, which is how we deal with the pantry. This steel is the main wall, which is separating the office from the kitchen.
I'm in the pantry, you're in the office.
Yeah. So we had two options. One was to make it like a pantry store where you go in and it's just shelves, but you want it a bit deeper so you can actually go in there and kind of do stuff in there.
Or well, at least have things up working, so I can have the slow cooker on, the mixer on, the bread machine on, the mill.
Which is fine, and that's why we're going to have the kind of bigger opening going into it. However, we realised that it's about 1.6 deep, but 4 and something metres high, so it'd just been a really weird space, because this is all full height ceilings in the kitchen. So
I hadn't even thought about it, to be honest.
No, well, I hadn't until Tom and I were doing some thinking, and we've got one more joist to go in there. But what we've now realised is if we build that wall all the way up, we'll just run some noggins across or joist it across, and that space can be storage for the smaller bedroom there, which is kind of win-win, because that's...
But so you're going to carry that over? along.
There's still,
There needs to be
the last
floor.
joist is here,
Yeah, yeah.
but then we've got a wall going up here.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to sit that or hang some joists off that wall, because it would only be wardrobe depth. You know, well, it would be 1 point. It'd be like, yeah, a deep wardrobe. You wouldn't walk into it.
A question my grandpa had was, will you be plastering?
Me personally,
Yeah.
no.
And I said, no, as far as I'm aware, that is one job Tim said he didn't want to tackle because he's tried it. And
I don't mind
it's a lot
plastering.
harder than it looks.
Yeah, I can, if it's a small room, yeah, but like, look at this. There's going to need to be tower.
Well, I said it's just, it is a skilled job.
And I'd be hating my own work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you pick up on everything that you can see. Although we would have ample pictures to put in.
To cover it all
now
up.
going to be a photo wall.
Yeah. I know.
Mirror wall.
It's gonna. We're a little way off that, but I do need to. It's an eye-watering amount of plastering as well.
Yeah.
Months
but we're
of
not
work.
doing skim and.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing like what we did in the cabin.
No, not
No,
tape. It's a
that's what I mean.
full
Yeah,
skim.
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and if you look at the expanse of that ceiling through there, if you're looking straight into the light, any imperfections just going to look terrible.
I know. Just Maggie. She looks like she's wearing a harness.
Oh yeah, I tied her up because it was a delivery. Sorry, Mags, you can release her from the ratchet strap. Hang on, sit down.
Well, it was just the way it was wrapped over her too. I was saying, what are our garden plans now?
This is not the time or place to talk about gardening. God,
Well, we've got
priorities.
me a garden course for Christmas.
Yeah, that's fine. You can plan it.
Yeah, I need to go on it first.
We've actually, back in the autumn, we did the lawn levelling and
Yeah, exactly.
seeding. So we've got a video which we will put out on the lawn at least.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's exciting. What have we got coming up? Like, I was thinking all the topics that we thought about.
in the recent Joe vlog Patreon update, you posed the question, what do people want to see in videos? What questions need to be answered, or topics really more than questions?
More detail.
So we've got a few
what do you want more
ideas,
detail
haven't
on? Yeah.
A lot on finance, some on detailing as far as the air source heat pump,
the
ventilation, solar.
Are we going to be off grid?
Yeah. Now, we were just about to finish editing and click upload when we realised, well, we hadn't actually finished the video. Joe dashed off to do the school run, I had a delivery, and we just had to turn the camera off. So if you do have any ideas for the topics for these sort of midweek videos or weekly, I don't know how we're going to end up doing it, then let us know, because we'll continue with the build videos as normal. But, you know, yes, there is a bit of repetitiveness going on, because it's a big building, and if I'm filming on floor joists, well, there's enough floor joists. I have to, you know, if you want to keep seeing the updates, then yes, there's going to be more than one video on certain topics. But we're moving into new territory now. Floorboards and window, you know, all the glazing will be here in a few weeks, and cladding and brickwork and internal fit out, you know, you name it, it's going to be coming your way. That said, for the other videos, if you want to send us any ideas for those, then let us know. We're going to be doing some more 3D visuals on the internals. We're already looking to do a video on renewables, what we will and won't be doing, off-grid, on-grid, etc. And maybe a few other detail bits on the build, and of course something on financing costs so far. We'll be doing that on like a square metre basis and overall, but you know, square metre wise, it is probably a bit more applicable because people can translate that into their own projects. That said, there is a difference with a really large building and a smaller building. Things cost a little bit less when you're doing a bigger footprint. Anyway, that's for another video. I hope everyone's had a good weekend. Look, blue skies, well, kind of. It's just about getting dark now. I'm going to shut the chickens up, check the pigs, and then I'm off for a beer. Well, I say off for a beer. I'm going to sit down and have a beer. Enjoy your Sunday evening, folks. Thanks for watching. Remember, if you can, do it yourself, and we'll see you next time. If you haven't had enough of this mad place and the funny farm this evening, then, well, it's your lucky day. We've dropped 2 videos tonight, I think. So if you want to see a little bit of the farm side of things, head over to the DIY Farm channel, and, well, it's going to be cuteness overload.